Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to gather a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing, a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. To gain that understanding, I am mining the intersection of psychology, theology, and philosophy to make you a better writer. This is episode number 81. Where do ideas go when we forget them? It's a rather interesting concept, isn't it? If you think about it, you can be in the middle of a conversation, you're about to say something, maybe something very important, a reminder, or something you wanted to be sure to tell this person, suddenly it's gone. It's just, you had it completely in mind. You could have given all the details. You could probably have spoken for 10 minutes straight about it, but suddenly it's gone. It's gone. And then you give up, you try, you struggle, you give up, you're talking for a little while, then all of a sudden, I remember, and the whole thing comes rushing back, fully complete. Ever wonder where it goes? Me too. No, I don't have the answer. Maybe a neurobiologist will be able to tell us why it is that we link to it or don't. I suppose it's a neuronal connection, but what makes them break and then reconnect so quickly? Hard to tell, especially when it's something that we're so familiar with and we could talk about for such length. You'd think there would be numerous neuronal connections to that data. But the point that I'm trying to make is a little bit deeper one. When we who keep a Zettelkasten notebox, like what you see over my shoulder here, one of the reasons why we keep a notebox is because it helps us to capture fragments of ideas. Now, an idea might have been full-blown when you wrote it down on a card, but the very act of abstracting something complex down to a few words means that what goes down onto that card is always going to be a fragment of the idea. Sometimes all you have left when you reach for the card is a fragment of the idea. It was bigger, it was more beautiful, it was complete in your mind, and then when you sat down to write it, it disappeared. If you keep a Zettelkasten, don't give up the ghost. Just write what you do have on a file card and file it appropriately. Now, I don't teach in my book, I do not teach how to do Zettelkasten filing. You can go ahead and pick up Scott Shepard's book. This is probably the definitive work on how to do an analog Zettelkasten. And if you look very closely, that's me on the cover there. But I didn't write the book. I just gave a testimonial, and he picked me to put it on the front. This will tell you everything you need if you do want to start a Zettelkasten. But even if that's too much for you for starters, you can just start with a little note box, something very small. A little container like this. I keep this box just for the cards that I'm working on. I'll pull the ones that I'm working on and keep them in a group where I can reach them more handily. And the other things I do, of course, is put the drawer I'm working with the most. I put it right there, owing to the fact that the drawers can be juggled around. But the whole point, and why I'm talking about this, is the power of ideas really comes about when they interact. And the only way you can have ideas interact is either to encounter them simultaneously, which of course Alder talks about in his book, How to Read a Book with Syntopical Reading, or if you have a Zettelkasten, you can capture them from one source, file them appropriately, and then when you read another source and you file the new notes, they encounter the old and the explosion of ideas just multiplies. It's a very, very, very fun experience. And for me, it's also something that I drew upon in creating this system on capturing the character traits, to be able to put them on a simple file card where you've got a single word that brings back a whole constellation of struggle, victory, and loss. So that's my thought for today, but I would like to also to remind you that my book is coming out just a few days. Here I am holding it up. I got my author's proof copy. Very, very happy. And you can sign up to be on my early bird list and be notified the minute the book is ready to be ordered. And you can do that at KathleenSpracklin.com/earlybird, all one word. And I will shoot you an email as soon as the book is ready to be ordered. And remember, I'm making it available at cost. You'll only be paying for the shipping and the materials because I want to get the book into your hands. And it was, being that it's color, it was a little pricey to print, and I just didn't want to pile anything onto the top of that because I want you to be able to have that book, and I didn't want to price anyone out. So I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.